I was raised in a Seventh-day Adventist family, and I left, and now I'm starting a journey as a Catholic catechumen.
All right. Are you a catechumen?
Catechumen.
Not a catechumen? You're not a catechumen? I wish I had some coffee, but go ahead, brother. Go ahead, talk to me.
Yeah, so the main object, and I'm not sure if this is the right stream for this, so if it's not, I'll drop myself. But the main objection that my family have towards intercession of the saints is that they have a presupposition that soul sleep is true, and therefore anything that speaks about intercession of the saints or even hints at it is therefore metaphorical.
Yeah, well, that's the assumption that people who die cease to be conscious. You have to refute that. So, as a former Seventh-day Adventist, guys, they're taught when you die, you cease to be consciously alive. So, therefore, Mary can't hear you, she's asleep. Well, you're going to have to destroy that lie. You're going to have to show from Scripture the Bible doesn't teach that. Now, the best way to do that, you're going to have to watch the series I did with Answering Adventism and the series I did on Death and the Afterlife, where I refute their proof text. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you're going to go here and you put in the word Adventism, right? Just put in the word Adventism. You see it?
Yep.
So look for the sessions with Miles answering Adventism. He's got a top-notch YouTube channel refuting their arguments, answering Adventism. So you go there. This is 1. This is 2. And then I'll show you his link. Here, refuting Adventist heresy, soul sleep, and Trinity, right here. You see it?
Yep.
Okay, so do that. And I link to his show, as well as butchering this. And then you put death, afterlife. Boom. See it?
Yeah.
Go through the passages, learn the arguments, because I show you how to refute their objections by the grace of God, because soul sleep is a modern invention. And pray my face is as lean as it was here. Okay? And if you do, I'll give you ownership to my YouTube channel. See, my face was leaner because I was 197. Here, let me pretend. I'm sitting. Looks almost the same?
Yeah, it looks the same to me, man.
That's it. You're going to own my YouTube channel, mister. But that's what you do. So your angle will be differently. You're going to show from the scriptures, and it's a lot, where those who die are said to be gathered with their ancestors. That term destroys soul sleep. For example, Abraham is told, go watch the first session, that you will be gathered to your ancestors at a ripe old age in peace. Then you're going to be buried. Well, when you read the story of Abraham, he was buried in the cave of Machpelah with his wife Sarah. She was the only one in the cave. But God says he would be gathered with his fathers. But his fathers were not buried there. How was he gathered to them?
Yeah, that's actually one of the ones I went through with them, and I didn't really get a very conclusive answer. I assume it's just...
You plant the seeds. All you can do is plant seeds. You can't make them see and accept. But that's one of the many arguments, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing you can do. It is irrelevant and moot to prove intercession of saints when they don't believe the dead are conscious. So you got to prove.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. It was more on the grounds of, I'm sure you know by now, the Adventist Church has a very strong distaste towards the Catholic Church. So when I'm talking about these things, and then they'll throw out something like, "Oh, Catholics are, they're Mary worshippers" or something, and I'll jump in to defend the position.
Say, let's put the Catholic Church aside, because right now I'm not focused on showing you the Catholic Church is true. I'm trying to first prove these doctrines are true. Catholics can be the worst people on the planet, and intercession of saints still be true. Why? Because it's not just Catholics who believe it. This is what Ryan did, by the way. If you didn't watch the debate, when Ryan debated Joe Heschmeyer, does water baptism saves, he then played this tactic because he knows he was getting cremated. Well, the Catholic Church charges for baptism. What you don't want to happen is them go off tangents and red herrings. That's what's happening. Well, hold on. Before we get to the Catholic Church, Are you aware it's not just the Catholic Church? You know the Oriental Orthodox, the Eastern Orthodox, Syrian Church of the East? They've been around for 2,000 years. They also believe intercession of saints. Are you aware that the early Christians believe intercession of saints? So you can blame the Catholics all you want. First, deal with the evidence biblically and historically. Do not let them go on tangents.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the way you do it. So, all right, Catholics can be pagans, and yet intercession of saints still be true. Let's deal with the arguments. Then we'll worry about whether Catholicism is Christ's church on earth. Then we'll worry about that. Let's deal with the issue. That's exactly what Joe did to Ryan. Ryan, the Catholic Church can be corrupt and water baptism still save you. What's the connection with water baptism? Because there are Protestants who believe that. You understand the point, right?
Yeah. One of the things I brought up as well, you brought this up with your last guest about Samuel and Saul conversing. I brought that up as a proof of both. And the response was that it's Satan appearing
demon,
to...
right?
Sorry?
They'll say it's a demon. I know the argument.
Yeah.
You say, number one, why would the demon confirm that God rejected Saul, there is no forgiveness for Saul, and God will never listen to Saul? I thought that demons usually would want to mislead you and deceive you, right?
Yeah.
But why is the message of the spirit of Samuel consistent with the preaching of Samuel on earth? What Samuel said on earth is what Samuel said when he was awoken from the realm of the dead. He said the same thing. God has rejected you. God will have nothing to do with you. He's removed the dynasty from your family. He's your enemy. And tomorrow, you and your sons will join me. Why would a demon confirm what the prophet Samuel said, that God pretty much hates Saul and is rejecting him? Number two, how is it that the demon turned out to be right? Because notice what the spirit of Samuel said. He said, tomorrow you and your sons will be with me the next day. Now, what's interesting is neither Samuel's sons nor Saul were buried alongside of Samuel, because they took the body of Saul and desecrated it. It wasn't even given a proper burial. So what did he mean that tomorrow you'll be with me, you and your sons? Because the next day his sons were killed and he committed suicide.
Yeah. I also, sorry?
Be with him where, dude?
In heaven.
Oh, Kenran, I'm going to bury you in water. Just shut your pile. I'll get you up. Go ahead.
In heaven or Sheol.
Sheol, the realm of the dead. And he was right?
Yeah.
Thirdly, do you know what the oldest Jewish interpretation of that encounter is?
Yeah. I think Book of Sirach says that Samuel was allowed to prophesy one last time, even after his death.
So what more do they want? You have the internal evidence showing cannot be a demon, because what the demon says is consistent with God said, and his prophecy came to pass. And thirdly, secondly, the oldest interpretation from a book that many Christians have accepted as scripture canonical, as I do, says it was Samuel's spirit. Guys, in Sirach 46:13 following, talks about the exploits of Samuel. And then here it says, even after he had fallen asleep, verse 20, start at verse 13 to 20, Sirach 46, he prophesied and made known to the king his death, lifted up his voice from the ground in prophecy to blot out the lawlessness of the people. So what more do they want?
So what, in the case, obviously, that many reject this as a scripture, then how do you go around that?
Well, why would you reject it as scripture? Who told you what the Bible is, number one? Number two, even if it's not scripture, it still proves this is the oldest Jewish interpretation which means the Jews did not believe in soul sleep, believed that the spirits of the dead continue to exist and could actually influence those living on earth.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? And you know, confirms that the souls of the prophets and the righteous are still alive?
Jesus or Paul?
Yeah, because in Matthew 17, and if they tell you, well, that's not really Moses and Elijah. It says Jesus was transfigured, Moses, Elijah appeared. Who was appearing to them, according to them?
Moses and Elijah.
But I thought soul sleep is true, they're dead, according to them. So who was appearing?
Well, I don't know if you've heard this before, but Adventists, they commonly believe that there's only 3 in heaven, which is Enoch, Moses, and Elijah, which is revealed.
Okay, what does it say? Only 3 are in heaven when Moses was buried. It says Deuteronomy 34, God buried him, and no one knows his location. Yeah. So where does it say he's in heaven?
I don't know. It's just how they interpret the verse.
So I don't care how you interpret it. I want you to prove it. Where does it say Moses is in heaven?
It doesn't.
Moreover, do you know who rejected that human beings continue to exist, consciously exist, apart from their bodies as disembodied spirits? You know who?
I think it was Paul, wasn't it?
Paul rejected it? Then that means we're in the wrong religion.
I misheard you, sorry.
Do you know who rejected and who rejects that those who die continue to exist as disembodied spirits?
Oh, the Sadducees.
Yes. And Paul opposed them and agreed with the Pharisees. No. Souls do exist like angels exist, and souls can appear with angels. So I thought they follow Paul. But they don't follow Paul. They follow the Sadducees here. Acts 23, 6-9. Paul was a party of the Pharisees. And Paul confirmed the Pharisees were right in believing angels and spirits exist. Well, whoever the spirits are, they're different from angels. So who would the spirits be?
I don't know.
You look smarter than you look. If the Pharisees, in agreement with Paul, and Paul in agreement with them, believe that angels and spirits exist, therefore, that means spirits are not the same as angels. So who would the spirits be?
The people who were taken into heaven.
Why do you keep saying heaven? At this time, they were not.
Oh, Sheol, sorry.
Yeah, after Christ's resurrection, they'd be taken to heaven, right?
Yeah.
You got it. Here it is. Acts 23, 6-9, specifically 8-9. When Paul noticed that some were Sadducees and others were Pharisees, he called in the council, brothers, I'm a Pharisee, a son of Pharisees. I'm on trial concerning the hope of the resurrection of the dead. When he said this, a dissension began between the Pharisees and Sadducees. The assembly was divided. The Sadducees say that there is no resurrection or angel or spirit. But the Pharisees acknowledged all 3. And Paul was a Pharisee who agreed with them because Jesus confirmed they were right. There are angels, there are spirits. So guys, note, spirits are different from angels. So what would the spirit be? The spirit of the disembodied dead, humans. Then a great clamor arose, and certain scribe of the Pharisees group stood up and contended, we find nothing wrong with this man. What if a spirit or an angel has spoken to him? Now wait, if a spirit is not an angel, that means these Jews believed what? That not only angels could appear and speak, but who else?
Spirits.
Spirits of who?
Of the dead.
Just like Moses and Elijah appeared?
Yeah.
Just like Samuel appeared?
Yep.
So what more proof can you give them? Until you say enough. Don't waste your time.
Yeah. I mean, there isn't really much else.
That's it, man. They don't accept, and why? You can't force them to convert, brother.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, I don't want to take up any more of your time, so...
Did you have another question?
No.
Right.
You've done a great job, thanks.
God bless you. I don't care what they say about you and your church. You're a good man.
Thank you.
God bless you.